Good morning. Still at the airport, waiting for check-in. Just wanted to take a few moments to give you a quick review on the hostels I stayed at. I'm going to go through the names first. My first hostel was the Mesa, M-E-S-A hostel, right in downtown Guatemala City. They are 420 user friendly. Second hostel is El Poete hostel in Guatemala City as well. And it's just a short distance from the Mesa. We went back and forth. We were there, then we left for the beach, then we came back. So Guatemala City is a hub to get to other places in the country. So you go on one side of the country, you come back to the city, you go back up to your destination, you come back to the city, blah, blah, blah. Kind of follow a pattern to go around. At least that's what we did, or I did anyways. Otherwise, you're caught in no man's land, traveling around in the middle of the night and getting dropped off in the middle of the night. Just not recommended. But when you go to the bigger towns from like Antigua to San Pedro to the city to Chemuk-Champay, those are all main bus routes. I say main bus routes, but it's a bus, then it's a shuttle, then it's a rickshaw, then it's another bus, and then you're walking a mile. I don't know, it's not just like you're taking a cab to one spot to the next. Transportation is an issue. You get there, but don't expect just to get right there. But anyways, hostel number 3 was Johnny's Place Hostel in Monterrico. That's right on the ocean. Bueno, beautiful, 420 friendly, excellent people, excellent happy hour, pools, tropics, most amazing. Excuse me. Hostel number 4, the Terrace Hostel in Antigua. Not 420 friendly, nice people. Still, regardless of that issue. Recall the Terrace does not take credit. They take cash or PayPal. So be prepared for that. I'm doing a complete review on each hostel, but I'm just doing a special thanks to them right now. But once I get home, I have notes on each hostel, and I will tell you the ins and outs of each one. They all have their pros and they all have their cons, just like any place you go to. Number 5, Mr. Mullet's Hostel in San Pedro, La Laguna. Not 420 friendly on the premises, but the staff will guide you in the right direction. And that's with all the hostels. If I say they're not 420 friendly, it doesn't mean the staff isn't. It's just the owners don't want it on the property because of the government, and it's just understood that way. No trouble with the police. So, number 6, the Aruma Eco Hostel, A-R-U-M-A Eco Hostel. Environmental friendly, brand new construction. You can see my video online. This was the most amazing hostel out of all of them. It's near Chemuk-Champay, just past Lanquin. So you go through Lanquin, and it's the first eco hostel, if I'm not mistaken, on the way to Chemuk-Champay. I was the only guest there that night, or for 2 nights rather, and then Friday they were sold out, so that was perfect. I felt alone though, I'm not gonna lie. It was just after traveling for 20-something hours. I've been homesick. It was towards the end of my trip, and for me to be alone for 2 nights, it just didn't work out that well for me. I'm a little bit of a social person. But they are 420 friendly. They cook up a storm. You have no choice when you're out there except to eat at their place. That's the only thing. You're in the middle of nowhere. There was no internet and no food options besides asking them to cook for you, which their staff will gladly. It's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner type thing. They have 3 serving times basically, but they will go out of their way for you. If you want something, if you're hungry, if you need something, the owner will actually go to town and grab you batteries or supplies or whatever it is that you need. He's there to accommodate you. Now, with that being said, I've never really stayed anywhere in my life. I'm talking about Aruma Eco Hostel. I've never really stayed anywhere in my life where the owner was so outgoing. I got dropped off there. It was late at night. We had been on the bus for 20-something hours. I made a reservation. He was expecting me. kitchen was basically closed when I got there, but first thing I did is when I showed up, he put a cold beer right on the counter for me. More or less didn't even ask. I was just like, you are the man. And after that, they cooked a nacho. And he showed me around the property. He just made me feel right at home. This guy is a human being, first and foremost. He's there to make money. He's there to promote that hostel, but as human to human, he is going to take care of you. I'm not saying when there's 100 people there, he can accommodate every single person's needs, but he's certainly bent over backwards for me. I want to say thank you so much for that. I'm not going to give you guys enough reviews. I've already posted 2 or 3 web reviews on my YouTube channel. I've already gone through booking.com and posted 2 reviews on that. And I plan on doing additional review regarding this hostel. So those are the 6 hostels I stayed at. I stayed at 2 of them more than once, and then the other 4 was traveling in between. This is a 21-day period. So if you see me looking over my shoulder, that's because I'm used to guards with shotguns standing over me. On this trip, it's been the most crazy experience. I'm not guilty of anything, but I sure feel guilty when there's a little 6-foot guard or 4-foot guard standing over you wondering what the hell you're doing. And this aspect of the trip, I did not like. Once again, I appreciate and I understand what this country has gone through. The wars, the Civil War that lasted 30-something years, the hardships that this country has gone through, I could not fathom. That'd be like America having a 36-year war on your own turf. You know, America's at war right now. The world is at war against America. I'm not leaning this way. I'm not leaning this way, but I respect Guatemala. I respect what they've gone through, but I just don't respect the fact that I was pinpointed. You can look at my other video at regarding McDonald's and the security guard 2 nights ago. The restaurant was packed, but he came right up to me and stood over me, literally next to me with a shotgun, and just watched me eat every single french fry, every single thing. When I got up to get a drink to refill my beverage, he followed me to that. I'm like, I was about to choke hold his ass. It took everything that I have in my heart to not pull a Chad on him and just do what Chad does and lose his patience, but I want to go home to my wife, and that's why I didn't. So that aspect, kids, was really annoying. You see me looking over my shoulder right now because I've got this little fear in me since this trip. I don't know, I can't wait to get home to the States and my country. When they say God bless USA, they mean God bless the USA. There's no place like home, and there's no place like our country. Amen to that. The freedom that Americans have is untouchable. I wish the world had that sense of freedom, and I know places don't. I am not knocking anything about this country, or when I went to Asia, or when we went to Vietnam, or Laos country, and any of that. I understand every country has their own hardships, but we're all humans, and we have to treat each other with respect. If I'm guilty of doing something at McDonald's, ordering french fries, or using the credit card machine, or asking them to convert the menu into English for me, I just didn't know a lot, but I'm not a criminal for being uneducated coming to a country. I came to this country with an open heart and an open mind. I wanted to learn the language. Everything about it. It's hard to learn a second language in a short amount of time. At least it is for me. I took Spanish in high school in 11th grade, and I never did good, to be honest. I didn't understand it. Certain people can learn, certain people can't. I'm an artist. I can paint a storm. I can paint whatever the hell you want. But when it comes to the book smart stuff, that's just not me. I graduated college with a 3.7. That's almost all straight A's. I'm impressed with that, but I went to art school. I got a bachelor's degree in art. So it's a little bit different, but first and foremost, I want to apologize for my lack of communication and my language barrier, but this is a hostel review and nothing else. I'm veering off the path. But I just want to thank those 6 hostels for taking me in, being a gringo. Also, The owners of each one of these hostels went out of their way for me. I'm going to tell you that right now. There was no animosity. There was nothing like that. You know, my experiences were nothing to do with the hostels or 90% of this trip. It was just 10% that had 10% of this trip had an effect on me that I'll never forget. Certain things I'm just not used to, and being treated like a criminal when I'm not kind of annoyed me. But it was part of the adventure. So once again, I want to thank these 6 hostels for taking me in. Thank you.